Alright everybody, welcome back to another Valdez venture. For today's adventure, I've got my mom's lawnmower. It's a Husqvarna something. If you want to care, there's all the information, model, blah blah blah. Anyway, they recently got a new puppy for my little brother. Evidence. And if some of y'all caught it quick enough, evidence. And this isn't the only problem. I'm probably just gonna get some heat shrink butt connectors and just splice a wire in here. 3 here, 3 here with the wire in the middle, just so it can still fold up. So there's not water or whatever collecting in the seat. And then, of course, flat tire. I've also got one on mine, which is funny. He also got a hold of, somehow, he pulled the headlight wire out and chewed them off. And the cable from here, from the starter up to the starter solenoid, he got a hold of. And my mom told me about it. I had to go through the yard finding all of this. So let's just go through it real quick. We've got the cable, and this is the one that goes from the starter solenoid down here to the starter. This is the ground wire, or the negative wire for the headlights. You can see it's spliced. So my guess, since these wires are on this side of this engine, it went on this light, and then the splice helped it go to that side because there's just 2 wires in here. I used the cup to transport it so I didn't lose them. The key. Alright, so again, more negative wire. This blue one, I'm pretty sure goes to the left side. I'm pretty sure it switches from this brown to blue. Because, well, this green one's for the seat. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's the connector for them, I guess, so you can take the hood off. But if you look, it's got 2 black, 1 brown, 1 blue, 1 black. And you've got 2 black, 1 brown. So I'm pretty sure it was like this. And then it had the connector right here so that you could take the hood off if you need to take the engine out or whatever. But anyway, I have in my little wiring box my keys. This is the replacement battery cable that I bought. But anyway, in my little wiring box, because I don't have a garage, my house I rent, and that's my shed. I go to AutoZone or Advance. Who do I buy these from? AutoZone. They have these little waterproof pigtails. I should say water resistant. Nothing's proof. But anyway, it's got that rubber gasket, and then it just slips in there, and it's super tight. The wiring I did for my LED lights on the front of my truck, I use these, and then when I cut out the factory fog lights to wire in more LEDs, I use these. So I'm just gonna use one, and I know this one has 3 and then out to 2, but what I'm just gonna do because you can kind of see it in this little plug. They put 2 into 1 and then that 1 into 1. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to take butt connectors, you know, 2 to the negative, 1 to the positive, and then out the other side. I'm just going to do 1 and 1 because that's what they did. And then, so this goes to positive left light. This is negative right light. This is positive right light because there's 2 wires, 1 connector. And I really don't know where the rest of it is. I mean, you can see there's blue wire he chewed up, blue wire he chewed up, black wires he chewed up. He chewed up the wrap and everything. And then chewed through this pretty well, which is why I'm replacing it. Now, I'm replacing it with this one, but it's for a car, so I'm gonna have to kind of finagle it and customize it a little bit to get it to work. Opening it one-handed. But if you look, see that connector compared to that connector, they're a little different. I'm worried about the fitment there. So if we take this off and not lose that nut, we're just gonna set it right there. And we set it on here. Yeah, see, it hits this little divider so that you don't arc accidentally and start the engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a file. I'll file that down, put it on here, and there's plenty of room over here so I don't have to do both sides, and just see if that works. And then I'm just going to kind of, just to see if the mower still turns over, I've got to figure out how to get this switch working so that it knows I'm sitting down. But we'll get all that done and then we'll come back and show y'all what we did and see if it starts. Alright, so it's not pretty, but I got it on there. They are a little big, but the nut is big enough to hold it on. And I may need to invest in it. I haven't had very many needs for it, but I am starting to. Come on, focus on this. Thank you. All right. I need to get a crimper tool for this style of connector, and start buying some of these because I'm starting to do a lot more of this type of work, and needing crimpers like this because it's just, it looks weird. It doesn't look, you know, factory. But I guess I actually need to put this boot back on. But when you kind of just have to do with what you got, then it's what you got. But let me put this back on and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got that on. Again, not pretty, but in theory it should work. But before I can even tell it, hey, let's start, I have to fix the sensor so the mower knows I'm sitting down, which I think is weird because you can usually start them with that. It's just if the blade is engaged, but for some reason it's not wanting to. Like, I'm not getting anything. Choke is out. Parking brake set, throttle full. It should be starting because the blade Alright, so that still works. That's nice to know. But it should be starting, and it's not. I'm wondering if the amount of dirt on this sensor here, right here, is causing some of it, because I do believe that is the one to tell it that the brake is engaged. Because you've got that one, you've got the seat, you've got the blades, and I thought there was another safety switch. But I don't know. I'm gonna do some more tests, see if I can figure it out, see if it's something up here, see if I can back probe it. You've got everything in here. See if I can back probe something, see what's going on. Alright guys, so I went ahead and took care of this problem. Again, just spliced in a wire in between them, heat shrink butt connectors to keep the water out. I have some more of this sheath that I may put on later, but I just went ahead and did this so I could just say it's not this. So that's done. Still can't figure out why it's not turning over, which is why I went ahead and did that. I doubt the headlights have anything to do with it, but if I have to wire those first as well, then I will. I did clean off. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you can. That bolt right there is the ground. That cable you see right here running all the way down, that's coming off the battery straight down there, and then, you know, those wires go off, and I'm sure they come up here somewhere. But I'm just gonna keep on going until we figure it out. Alright everybody, so I kind of got distracted with, you know, working. But like I said, I fixed the wiring under the seat. I ended up taking that key out, putting it in mine. It started mine just fine, so I knew that wasn't the problem. So then I was like, what's going on? So battery, solenoid, no battery, no solenoid. So it turns out, one, the battery's dead, two, they had a bad solenoid. But it starts and runs just fine. I put everything back together. I had this off, trying to make sure the dog didn't get any of those wires, just because I didn't know how it was supposed to look right here. Took the hood off, everything, but now I've got the hood back on. I'll put this back on, and I wired this plug like I said. There's the other half, and I'm just working on the headlights at this point. But yeah, it runs. So once I have the trailer fixed for them, because that's also something that's that the dog got a hold of, I'm just going to drive it up there. Once I have it hooked to my truck, drive it up there, take the battery, take the solenoid, put it back in mine, make sure it runs good. And then I'll just take it back to them. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I also set their battery over here on the charger. It's just a little trickle charger. It's solar. Blue light means it's working. It's for like trolling motors and stuff. I guess for your boat battery. So if you're out there all day, your battery stays charged. But I'm just seeing if it does anything, because it spun that over just a little bit, but it didn't completely spin. But once I switched the batteries, it was fine. But yep, I don't know if it's working. I don't have a gauge. I don't have anything that can tell me. All right guys, so like I said, my battery, my solenoid. I redid the wires, put a new plug, wrapped it with new sheath, and I just ran this through there because I'm pretty sure that's where it went before. And I ran it on the outside because I didn't want it near anything that can get hot. And then looks brand new. That might be a problem. So I might have to run it on the inside. So that's fine. I'll just take this. Pull these out real quick. Undo that. Open this. Alright. This is there. Alright, looks like I didn't put this one back together right either. So, let's see. Alright, there we go. And then just because I'm going to use it real quick since I tore mine apart, strap this battery in properly if possible. There we go. It's not sitting right, but my mom ran it under her back porch one time years ago. So that might be part of the reason why it sits funny. But just to double check, it's a good sign. We've got our hour meter back. So, noise warning. Something shook loose. All right, I guess it's back to square one then. Alright guys, so looks like this adventure is finished. So what ended up happening, for some reason when I turned it on that last time, it blew. There's a fuse right there. It blew that, so I just grabbed another one, stuck it in, it crunk right up, I mowed 2 yards with it. And it runs like a champ. So this is a Husqvarna hydrostatic LGT2554. And 54-inch deck. Not a bad little mower. And it's not much bigger than mine. Mine's 48. And it's 20... I think it's a 98, so it's 22 years now. Yep, my little Craftsman DYT 4000. Had the same problem at one point. That's where I had to replace my solenoid and replace my battery. And then this one comes around and has the same problems once the dog's done chewing with it. So I should be getting a new solenoid and battery for that. And then I'll put mine back in here and hopefully they'll both run. But stay tuned, because this is going to be the next project. And I'm still working on the pool. So I got to redo the lights on this. The dog decided to chew off the connector. And I don't think he got this side. I think I hit that side pretty well. But he chewed off the wires for the light on that side. And then I busted it trying to get it out of the yard. But yeah. So that's it on the Husqvarna, forget the name, LGT2554. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next adventure.